My friend Jonathan passed away in 2005. In honor of Suicide Prevention Week, I wanted to say his name and honor his legacy. I wrote and delivered this eulogy at his funeral with his family's blessing on July 19th, 2005, at the New Mexico church in which we were raised. Here is his eulogy. One of Jonathan's favorite quotes, which he had listed as his favorite on Facebook, and as a reminder, this was back in the early days in 2005, where it was only meant to be a yearbook for college students and known as quote unquote the Facebook, was be who you are and say what you think, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. I have witnessed Jonathan living as an example of this quote for the past 10 years. Whatever we've known him as, Jonathan, John, JT, the infamous Tipton, as was so popular as a nickname in middle school, we are all here because Jonathan was very special. Jonathan and I grew up together in this very church. He considered this church his home on many levels. This is where we met and formed our friendship. So how ironic that I get to say goodbye to him here too. We went through so much together in church, Sunday school classes, confirmation classes, and eventually the confirmation ceremony together. His special relationship with our pastor was illustrated when he jokingly gave him a nickname during youth group and confirmation that stuck. Jonathan's mom was freaked out when she initially heard this because she thought that it might be disrespectful. But it was a symbol of their very special friendship. When we reached middle school, all of the elementary schools in our town, I think about 6, filed into one school for 2 years of learning. Jonathan and I quickly formed a friendship outside of church and eventually dated. One thing that I'm sure all of you know, because you are here, is that Jonathan had a huge heart. He was always himself, for better or worse, and expressed his emotions in such a big way. He knew exactly whom he could talk to and who would listen, and sometimes he just wanted to voice his opinion and didn't really care who heard it. Many of his friends know that on several occasions he wrote persuasive material in school assignments, written papers and such, for no other reason than to challenge his teachers. And he told me this on several occasions as well. He always made sure that the people that meant a lot to him knew how he felt about them, and more times than not, this equated to him being a hopeless romantic, and you could say somewhat of a Casanova. One example of this in particular that sticks out in my mind is from 1998. When we were dating, Jonathan called upon our church youth group directors to assist him in creating a romantic date for us one evening. When I arrived at their house, they escorted me out to their backyard, which overlooked a beautiful canyon in northern New Mexico. And there I saw Jonathan sitting at a table, complete with candlelight, fine china, and flowers. I later found out that they had spent the afternoon together cooking the meal and figuring out exactly how the evening would go. He really put a lot of thought and effort into an experience that has stuck with me all this time. On a separate occasion, he wrote a short story for me about our relationship in the third person so that it came out sounding somewhat like a romance novel. One of the things I always loved about him was his eloquent speech and writing skills. It was truly one of the ways that he best expressed himself. It is one of the things that drew me to him. We got along so well because we both excelled at using our writing skills to express feelings. We began high school by working our way through Navy Junior ROTC and becoming officers. I have to say, we got a big kick out of bossing the freshmen around and would recount our daily experiences of being NJROTC officers every day after school for a while. Needless to say, we felt pretty important. About halfway through high school, he moved away, and I didn't see him until this past year when, to my surprise, he lived a few doors down from my boyfriend in the dorms at college. I remember the late nights that they spent so diligently studying, which would be rewarded with a boys' night out that I would later hear about. It was wonderful to see him again after years of not doing so. I tried to think about what Jonathan would tell us at this time. I imagine, given Jonathan's heart and poise and emotion, he would tell us this: I leave my thoughts, my laughter, and my dreams to you, whom I have treasured beyond gold and precious gems. I give you what no thief can steal, the memories of our times together, the tender love-filled moments, the successes we have shared, the hard times that brought us closer together, and the roads we have walked side by side. So whatever Jonathan was to you in your own life, a beautiful voice, gorgeous smile, warm hug, shoulder to cry on, friend to laugh with, family member to embrace, carry him with you in those thoughts and actions always. I cherish my memories of Jonathan and the fact that I got to have him in my life at all. And this is how I remember him. In closing, I'd like to share something that he wrote to me in a letter in July 1998. He, being the gentleman that he was, said, "Somehow I am drawn to Jenna. I love her, I will always love her, and I want her to have the best in life that she can get." Well, we were all drawn to you too, Jonathan. We love you, we'll always love you, and we wish you the best. You will never be forgotten. Thank you so much for listening, and we hold you in our hearts, Jonathan.